fit to push a little bit more on that, or to not be so afraid, because maybe you'll have a better result. Because so much about what Democrats have done, and the reason why we are where we are right now, is because we've played it too safe.
Yeah.
We've assumed that our message,
we're
like, a very progressive, yeah, right? But like we're logical, but we're also, I think we also don't give people enough of a benefit of a doubt. You know what I mean? Because like, even the fact, like, Andrew Gillum, look how close he came to, winning. Like, they would have, the establishment Dems would never have even seen that possible.
No, yeah.
Beto O'Rourke, as he lost, but as close as he came
in Texas,
holy establishment shit. Dems would never have seen that coming, to the point where they didn't even support him. Right. So it comes down to, we can't always assume that because Democrats, it's a long-term Democrat, and they have their bona fides as a establishment Democrat, they know what's best. Because let's be real, we ceded a lot of power in the last 10 years. And, even the last fucking 30 years, we've ceded a lot of power. Okay. And it's been because people have been off the mark. Right. And she won. I'm sorry. She won. She won at 28 years old.
Jesus.
And she unseated someone who was pretty fucking popular.
Wow.
So, I don't know. Maybe just trust that she knows what the fuck she's doing. Yeah. And if she doesn't, because see, the thing about, I'm not worried about her falling on her face.
No.
I'm not. Because at the end of the day, she's shown herself to be a reasonable person. Mm-hmm. So I would hope that if she falls on her face, she comes back and she says, I apologize. I fell on my fucking face. Yeah. And this was my intention. And now I'm not doing that anymore. And here's my new intention. Yeah. And that's it. That's all. Because that's all we can do as humans. Right. So leave her the fuck alone. Stop concern trolling. Yeah. Stop it.
Do her
just
fucking job.
Let her be. And stop trying to make her apologize for having a voice and using it. Yeah. And knowing how to use social media. Because that's the big problem, is they don't like the fact that she's good at promoting herself.
Really?
Yeah. Well, when in the end of the day, she's doing the same thing Trump is doing. Yeah. But better, in my opinion. Because like, most of the stuff she tweets is actually like fucking useful. Right. And about like other people, not just her.
Like fucking mindless fucking...
Yeah, like... Let me tell you why I'm so amazing and why everyone else is the problem.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's not what's happening. So, that's my biggest thing, is just leave her alone from every angle. Just let her be. And for God's sakes, learn how Congress works. Yeah. Learn how the federal government works. And understand these are real life-ass jobs. These are not just nerds who sat in fucking school reading books about government and then became somebody. Like, these are real people who, for the most part, know just as little about government and how it works as you do, and they learn on the job. Right. Because they have to, and they're getting paid for it. Exactly. Because that's the reason why you should put effort into something.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times, like, she was a fucking bartender. When was she supposed to sit down and take all of these, like, in-depth... Come on, give me a fucking break. And it's not that difficult. She will learn it. Like, that's the whole point. That's why there are leadership positions in fucking Congress, because that's what they do.
We elect people that are smart like her, because she can figure it out.
She's gonna figure this the fuck out. Like, so just calm down, everybody. It's gonna be okay. Let the media do what they're gonna do, but understand that she's fine. Everything's fine.
It's all good.
How about you? What did you feel some type of way about?
My some type of way. Okay, so we all had the holidays come and go, and when I was at Christmas. I just remember it was like, it was funny because me and my grandma, like, we were talking, or I should say she was talking, I was just responding in one word responses. Like, was
it like all religious stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the main point that she was bringing up, and I finally cut in, was that Christians, because she's a Christian, she has to be a better person, because she's representing Christians everywhere. And that was her point.
Oh.
She's got to be a good person because she represents Christians.
I wish they were all like that.
I know, right?
That would help.
Yeah, exactly. And I brought up the point, I was like, well, Grandma's like, yeah, I mean, that's like that, and that's admirable of you to have that type of mindset. I was like, but, pretty much, whatever group we represent, we're always ambassadors of. Mm-hmm. you know, if you're not a Christian, you're something else. You know, I was thinking, and I said, well, say, you know, you're an atheist, you know, and you know, I mean, you know the stigma that comes along with that. And she laughed. And I was like, and then, but, you know, if you go above and beyond, people might say, oh, he's not such a bad guy, yet he's an atheist. You're always representing who you're representing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, and she took that point, she started laughing. And then, I didn't know, it was so weird. And then she was like, well, you know, Jesus can forgive you for being an atheist. And it just, like, stops for a minute. It's like, oh, right, yeah. And I was like, you know, I just kind of brushed it off. I didn't think about it. Because I don't think she knows what an atheist is. I'm starting to think she really doesn't know what that means. Because how can you be forgiven for not believing that he exists in order to forgive you?
Was she, like, okay, was she saying that, you know, you don't have to believe because I know that you're just confused and I believe enough for the both of us, and so you're going to be forgiven or something?
No, because that just doesn't sound like something she would say. Because she knows that, like, every person has to do it for themselves. You know?
Oh,
like,
that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody has to.
That's the whole point of the baptism thing.
Right. But she was just saying, you know, basically she was saying, you know, it's okay. God can forgive you for everything you've done up until now because you're an atheist. So come and believe this, you know. And it's like they don't even understand the fact that, like, either you're convinced of something or you're not convinced of something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you can't force yourself to be convinced of something. Like, for a lot of my life, I was convinced of something. I was convinced that these things were true. But only because I was raised on it. I was raised to believe it. And when you're raised to believe something, it makes a whole lot of sense.
Yes.
It's unbelievable how much sense the whole Adam and Eve and Noah's Ark and Jonah and all these things make when that's the way you're raised to think, you know? Because these stories have been washed over your mind over and over as a child.
Do you think maybe a part of it was... So you were punk, and you had your, like, whole punk rebellious stage for a long time. And do you think maybe a part of her feels like this is another one of those stages of rebellion, and you're going to come back around? So she just wants to let you know that when you're ready to come back around,
you can be forgiven.
Yeah, like, all is forgiven. Yeah. You know, you just experimented with your little atheism for a minute, but God forgives you, and everything's great. Yeah,
no, you're probably right. That's probably exactly what she's thinking. You know, is that you can bounce back from this. You know, and this is something that, you know, it's
because she thinks you're struggling.
Yeah. I mean,
she thinks you have, like, a crisis of faith thing going on.
Yeah.
When, like, she doesn't understand that you're serene.
You're more serene
ass motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm more happy than I've ever been as a Christian before. Ever. Yeah. You know, I feel like I finally have that peace they kept talking about.
Yeah. Like, now you have it.
Yeah. The one that you have to convince everybody else you have, but you're fighting in your mind to find. You know, it's bad, you know, the way that they would address this stuff. But it was just funny to me because it's like, you know, and like I said, it's something you're either convinced of or you're not convinced of, and you don't really have control over that, you know. And on some level, if you
of course you have control over that. You had control over that for years, and the way that you controlled it was making sure you didn't seek out information that was antithetical to what you believe.
Right. Like, the only time but it was because, and I hate to say this, because it almost makes me think, like, it almost makes me want to say, like, every Christian knows they're wrong. You know what I mean? But I don't want to say that, because I can't say that. But I felt like it was wrong for a long time. You know what I mean? And I actually don't remember not thinking it was wrong. Because I just remember, like, not, like you said, not wanting to look up information. I was scared.
Yeah.
Because I knew if I looked up some form of information that was in opposition of what I believed, then my whole world would come crumbling down.
Yeah.
You know, and everything I'd worked so hard for was for nothing. Mm-hmm. You know? And it's like, and Paul says that in the Bible. Says, like, you know, if none of this is true, then what is this all for nothing? You know, and so it's like,
and yes, because I feel like that's the underlying thing that's the thing on the surface that no one's talking about.
Yeah.
In that, you know, Christians, especially Christians as devout as your family, they simply don't understand how you can possibly exist without a lot of turmoil if you don't believe in Christ.
In Jesus, yeah.
When in actuality, we're rarely ever thinking about that at all.
No. And the Christianity and the religion causes more turmoil than it solves.
Yeah.
You know? Because you got all these people judging each other. You got this level of standard that everybody's supposed to live to.
Yeah.
And if you're outside of that, then now you got to decide whether or not you want to disavow your children.
Yeah.
You know,
and just like fundamentally not understanding anything. Like when you talked earlier about the idea that you thought anyone could be gay if they let themselves fall prey to that sin.
Right.
When it's like, no, there's some pretty strong, like, psychological and biological things going on.
Right.
that
exactly.
is not about, like, sinning or not sinning. Like, it has nothing really
but
to
the fact
do with it.
That it's a sin is, like, you know, is what gets so deep. And the fact that I'm, you know, I'm I guess,
You're polyamorous now?
No, I'm
that's me.
That's not the word. No. What am I? I am
pansexual.
Pansexual. Pan. That's poly. Like polysexual. That doesn't
need to
sound
go to
right.
bed.
Yeah, I do.
You're
tired.
done.
I'm tired. No, pansexual, and the fact that, you know, it's like I felt those attractions, and I attributed them to sin.
Yeah,
the whole time.
You were just being a bad Christian.
Yeah, and I thought, and that's what convinced me even more, though, that homosexuality was evil.
Yes,
you know, because I could feel myself slipping into it.
That was Satan.
That was Satan. Yeah, exactly. It was just the evil of the world pulling me into it. And no, it's just the fact that I'm fucking pansexual, and I had some attraction to men. And then I was raised to believe that that's evil. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's a whole fucking thing. But it's just so funny that actually being pansexual is what it almost made me more homophobic. Yeah. When I was, you know what I mean? It's weird that worked like that.
And it's weird that so much of that comes down to the same issue over and over again, is that liberals or progressives have accepted one set of beliefs based on facts, and then conservative have accepted one set of beliefs based on usually the Bible or faith. Like traditional ideas of what people should be.
Yeah, and faith.
And those aren't necessarily facts so much as they are feelings.
Yeah. Faith.
You know, like they're
wanting
not really
something to be true without knowing it's true, but acting as if it's true anyway. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Not that we're always like so amazingly fact based, but
no.
It is this reality that
still,
I mean, come on, lady. Like, we're not even thinking about religion, letting alone
being
worried about whether God is going to forgive us for having no, that's not how atheism works. It's not how atheism works. Wait, what about sex?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was off on my pansexual thing still. But
okay. On that note, this has been some type of way. Brent is done.
I'm done.
Brent is done. He's going to bed now.
It's really late.
It really isn't that late. We're just old.
I guess.
We're so old.
But okay, the email, if you want to contact us, is unapologetic, spelled like the show, 666@gmail.com. Please let us know your thoughts and feelings or comments or concerns.
Or just say hi.
Yeah, you can tell us good stuff too. Like,
just say hi. Like, literally, you don't have to say shit.
Yeah, except for, say,
hey, y'all.
We listened and we liked it, or whatever. Or even just, we just listened to it.
Yeah.
We just listened. That's it.
You can also go reach us at Facebook at Unapologetics. We have a page.
Yeah, we have a page on Facebook.
Just for the show, Unapologetics. And you can also add Brent